Sisters in Yahushua, and Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Today I felt led to make a video on, I don't know, all the biblical evidence. Well, not all the biblical evidence. That would take me a while. But a lot of the biblical evidence proving that the Ten Commandments and the Sabbath is expected to be kept from Yah's people and Yahushua's followers. Just for those who are new here and might be saying this and don't know who I'm talking about, Yah is God, Abba Yahweh is Father God, the RUACH KODESH, or Imaya, is the Holy Spirit, and Yahushua is Jesus' Hebrew name. Alright, so this is just some notes I had written out. I had an original set of notes, but that got, yeah, I don't have that anymore. So I'm just gonna go through. Okay. So a lot of people say, oh, we don't have to keep the 7th-day Sabbath, which would be Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. Like, oh, because Yahushua, Jesus, rose on the first day, Sunday, so we keep that. And you get, like, Christians these days say, like, oh, you know, Jesus changed the Sabbath to Sunday. Guys, that's not true. Now, if you just bear with me, please keep watching and just let us finish through this, okay? Alright. So this is the notes. The Sabbath day is the 7th day. The Sabbath is a perpetual covenant or sign between Yah and his people. And perpetual means forever or never ending. The 10 Commandments were given to all of the 12 tribes of Israel, and only the tribe of Judah was Jewish. So, if only Judah was Jewish, what would that make the other tribes? So that there, people will say, oh, those are only for the Jewish people. No, it wasn't. It was given to all of Israel. Okay. The Sabbath was changed to Sunday by the Roman Catholic Church, not by Yah. They did this to, how do you do this? For sun worship. Sunday worship, sun worship. Alright, also, this is where Constantine got mixed up, where he tried to appease the pagans and Christians and get them to worship on the same day. Or Messianic community, however one you want to call them. Alright, God, Yah's true biblical Sabbath is Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. This next section is Yahushua and the 10 Commandments. Yahushua kept the Sabbath, and these are some of the things he said about them. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. 10 Commandments. That's John 14:15. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say? Luke 2:43. If you want to enter into life, keep the commandments. Matthew 19:16. Do not come to think that I have come to abolish the law and the prophets, but I have come to fulfill them. Matthew 5:17. And whoever has my commandments and keeps them is it who loves me. That's John 14:21. Now there's obviously more, like I said, I could only fit so much on a piece of paper. Okay, so these are some of the verses I'll show you in a second. So Yah's true Sabbath is on the 7th day, not the 1st. So let's get into the verses. Alright, this one is from Genesis 2:2, and it says, by the 7th day Yah completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all of his work which he had done. Then Yah blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all of his work which Yah had created and made. That's the first one. Then let's get our second one here. Our second one is from Exodus 23:12, and it says, 6 days do you work, but on the 7th day do not work, so that your ox and your donkey may rest, and so that your slave born in your household and the foreigner living among you may be refreshed. So see, even there, it's saying not just the biological Jewish people. It's for all of Yah's people. Okay. This is Exodus 31:15. For 6 days work is to be done, but the 7th day is the day of the Sabbath rest, holy to Yahweh. Now, if I like pause for a second, it's because I'm learning and trying to put in their actual sacred Hebrew names in here. So if I get one of these wrong, don't mind me. I'm learning. So I don't want to censor their names anymore. Okay. And this is from Exodus 31:17. It will be a sign between me and the Israelites forever, meaning all 12 tribes again, not just Judah, the Jewish group. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. This one is Exodus 16:22, and it says, Now on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one, when all the leaders of the congregation came and told Moses. Then he said to them, This is what Yahweh meant. Tomorrow is the Sabbath of observance, a holy Sabbath to Yahweh. Bake what you bake and boil what you boil, and all that is left over, put aside to be kept until morning. So they put it aside until morning, as Moses has ordered. And it did not become foul. Sorry, I can't read today. Nor was there any worm in it. Moses says, Eat it today, for today is the Sabbath to Yahweh. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you will gather it, but on the 7th day, the Sabbath, there will be none. It came about on the 7th day that some of the people went out to gather, but they found none. Then Yahweh said to Moses, How long do you refuse to keep my commandments and instructions? See, Yahweh has given you the Sabbath. Therefore he gives you bread for 2 days on the 6th day. Remain every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. Please forgive me. Sorry guys if I'm reading it wrong or something. I have that. It's just my own problem, I guess, with words. Okay, this is Exodus 28. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of Yahweh your God. In it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male or female servant, or your cattle, or the sojourner who stays with you, or foreigner. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore Yahweh blessed the 7th day and made it holy. Next. This one's from Leviticus 23:3, and it says, There are 6 days when you may work, but on the 7th day is a day of Sabbath rest. I keep wanting to say Shabbat, but that's just another word for Sabbath. A day of sacred assembly. You are not to do any work wherever you live. It is the Sabbath day to Yahweh. Thank you. This next one's from Deuteronomy 5:14, and it says, But the 7th day is a Sabbath to Yahweh your God. Same thing. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your ox, your donkey, or any of your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns, so that your male and female servants may rest as you do. Okay. This one's from Hebrews 4:4 for those who say, Oh, that was just the Old Testament. Well, we've got something for you, people. It's in the New Testament too, so you can't just throw away the Old Testament and say, we have no proof of the Sabbath. You still do. In that case, you need to throw out the whole Bible, but... Alright. For somewhere he has spoken about the 7th day in these words. On the 7th day, Yah rested from all of his works. Alright, now I'm going to continue with our notes here. Ow. Sorry, my legs are falling asleep under me. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. The 7th day is the Sabbath, Exodus 20:10. If Sunday is the first, this isn't the verse. If Sunday is the first day of the week, then how can it be Yah's 7th day Sabbath also? It can't be 2 days. After the Sabbath, at dawn, on the first day of the week, you guys can continue the verse. Matthew 28:1. Okay. Evidence of the early church keeping the Sabbath after Yahushua died for us. Keyword, after. The women who helped bury Yahushua had to hurry as the next day was the Sabbath. Here are the verses. It was preparation day, and the Sabbath was about to begin. Luke 23:54. Then they went home and prepared spices and perfumes, but they rested on the Sabbath in obedience to the commandment. Luke 23:56. And this is more scripture backing up Sabbath keeping, which, if you just give me a second, I'm going to get up on my computer here. Okay, this should work, I think. Hello! Like, hello! You saw me, okay. And my highlighting thing went away. Well, Hebrews 4:9. There remains then a Sabbath rest for the people of Yah. Next. Hello again. Okay. Oh no. Okay, 1 through 4. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their host. By the 7th day Yah completed his work which he had done, and then he rested on the 7th day from all of his work which he had done. Then Yah blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from his work which Yah had created and made. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I did have some of this highlighted, but apparently it wanted to go away on me. So, sorry if I pause. I'm looking over to make sure I'm getting all of it. Okay. Speak to the sons of Israel and say to them, Yahweh's appointed times, which you shall proclaim as holy convoctions. Sorry. My appointed times are these. For 6 days work may be done, but on the 7th day there's a Sabbath, a complete rest, a holy convocation. If I'm saying that word right, wrong, I'm sorry. Just, you shall not do any work. It is a Sabbath to Yahweh in all of your dwellings. Okay. Ow. Okay, next. Sorry. Okay. Deuteronomy 5:12. Observe the Sabbath day and keep it holy, as Yahweh your God commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all of your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh your God. In it you shall do no work, nor your son. We went through this. Your son or your daughter, or your male servant or female servant, or your ox or your donkey, or any of your cattle, or the foreigner who stays with you, so that your male servant and female servant may rest as well as you do. Oh. Okay. You shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and Yahweh your God brought you out of there by a mighty hand and by an outstretched arm. Therefore, Yahweh your God commanded you to observe the Sabbath day. Alright, sorry about that. I just had to adjust how I'm sitting because my legs were falling asleep. Alright, so this one's showing that Yahushua kept the Sabbath by teaching on the Sabbath. And he came down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and was teaching them on the Sabbath. Now this is Luke 31. Hold on, I'm sorry for that. Okay, hang on. Now this is the early church keeping it. Acts 17:1. Now when they had traveled through those 2 places, I don't know how to say them, and I'm not going to try and make myself sound like a crazy person on here. Alright. They came to Thessalonica, where there was a synagogue of the Jews, and according to Paul's customs, he went to them, and for 3 Sabbaths reasoned with them from the scriptures. So, sorry, I was going to have it highlighted for you, but apparently my computer did not like that idea for anything to be too easy for me, so, okay. Let me just highlight what I wanted to. Hang on. Much better. Now you guys even know where I'm reading. Alright, Acts 13:42. As Paul and Barnabas were going out, the people kept begging that these things might be spoken to them the Sabbath. Now when the meeting of the synagogue had broken up, many of the Jews and the Yah-fearing proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who were speaking with them, were urging them to continue in the grace of Yah. So once again, they're on a Sabbath. They're teaching and keeping the Sabbath. But you can... I don't want to show myself, so... That's not the problem, it's just... Okay. Alright, here we go. Acts 18:4. Every Sabbath he reasoned in the synagogue, trying to persuade Jews and Greeks. Okay. So. Just keep me in the background. Okay. Therefore, no one is to act as your judge in regarding to food or drink, or in respect to a festival or new moon or a Sabbath day, which were a mere shadow of what is to come, but the substance belongs to Christ. Now, a lot of people will take this out of context. And basically, I've had this happen to me personally, where a pastor would say, like, oh, you see, this verse says you're not to judge us if we don't keep the holy feast of the Sabbath. When actually, context is meaning the other way around. Meaning that don't judge a person because they keep the holy feast and the Sabbath. So basically, it's not the worst thing that's taken out of context, but you just kind of need to flip it. So I was reading this. I'm sorry this video is so long already, but I feel like it's important. I don't just feel it's important. Wow. Okay. Matthew 24:20. Pray that your flight will not take place in winter or on the Sabbath. So once again, Yahushua is upholding the Sabbath, or mentioning it. Next. How do you like my dirty computer screen? It needs to be washed so bad. Alright. Ezekiel 46:1-3. Thus says Yahweh God, the gate of the inner court facing east shall be shut the 6 working days, but it shall be open on the Sabbath day, and open on the day of the new moon. The prince shall enter by the way of the porch of the gate from outside, and stand by the post of the gate. Then the priest shall provide his burnt offering and peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate, and then go out. But the gate shall not be shut until the evening. The people of the land shall also worship at the doorway of the gate before Yahweh on the Sabbaths and on the new moons. Once again. Okay. Exodus 31:12-18. Then Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, But as for you, speak to the sons of Israel, saying, You shall surely observe my Sabbaths, for this is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. Therefore you are to observe the Sabbath, for it is holy to you. Everyone who profanes it shall surely be put to death, and whoever does any work on it, that person shall be cut off from among his people. For 6 days work may be done, but on the 7th day there is a Sabbath of complete rest, holy to Yahweh. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day shall surely be put to death. Now obviously the death penalty law thing that's one of the ones that are done away with. Am I saying the entire Torah is done away with? No, don't start thinking that. But only a few things got removed, such as animal sacrifices and the death penalty, because those are the things that Yahushua fulfilled. So if you want to say Yahushua fulfilled the laws of the Torah, therefore we don't have to follow them, you can aim those at those two, but don't aim them at everything, because not everything is done away with. Alright, where was I? I am so sorry. Okay, so the sons of Israel shall observe the Sabbath to celebrate the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the sons of Israel forever. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, but on the 7th day he ceased from labor and was refreshed. Alright, I think there's one last one here. Alright, Isaiah 66:23. From one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, all mankind will come and bow down before me, says Yahweh. So that is all of the notes I had for right now. I don't know if that's going to be my final video touching on this, but it's already long, nearly 20 minutes. So thank you for putting up with me, and do go and look up this for yourself. Don't just be like, oh, okay, that's nice, but I don't think it's true, and she's just taking stuff out of context, and yeah, well, go look for yourself, okay? That's what everyone always is going to say, go look for yourself. Don't just judge it and say, oh, that's false instantly, because it's out of our tradition. Anyway, I'm just going to conclude with 2 verses. Whoever says, I know him, but does not do what he commands is a liar, and the truth is not in that person. That is 1 John 2:4. Now, I have another verse here. So it's interesting how when Yahushua was walking on earth, he really got after the Pharisees about giving up Yah's commandments and doing their own traditions. Isn't that like today? So you've let go of the commands of Yah and are holding to their human traditions. So what's interesting is a lot more people would be willing to give up Yahweh's true Shabbat, Sabbath, on Friday sunset to Saturday sunset, and they'd be more willing to go with the Catholic's tradition of Sunday worship because it's easier and because everyone else does it. Well, you know what? If we just think about this. If we say as Christians we are on the narrow path, are doing what the rest of the world does and half the world does that sound like a narrow path to you? Anyway, that's all I'm going to touch on today. Thank you all for watching and staying with me for these 20 minutes. And thank you for everything. I love you, my brothers and sisters in Yahushua, and may Yah bless you always. Bye.